This is part 2 due to opinion and circumstances that I had to make this video. I had no intention of making a second video, which now I'm going to have 5 videos to post instead of 4. Any freaking how. You know, I'm at the point now where I'm starting to get really angry at my black side and my black culture. And it's not black people. It's people who maybe mixed native or maybe all black and just hate being connected to Africa. And, you know, they're flipping the fuck out. I got videos where you guys can hold my feet to the fire. I'm not gonna lie about it. I have videos. I had made a couple of pictures of me in a fucking war bonnet because I didn't know that Cherokee didn't wear a war bonnet until I did my research. I got videos in war paint. Again, I fucked up. I didn't know that Native Americans from certain aspects of life didn't wear war paint. Cherokee don't wear war paint. Cherokee don't wear war bonnets. Unless I'm researching this shit wrong, they don't wear that shit. So, those are 2 things I fucked up on. There's videos up here where I literally have said, I'm not going to be black today because of some shit that black people have done. There have been videos where I've said, I am never going to be white. And I won't be white because of this, this, and this. And those are the same videos that I said, so glad that I'm mixed and that I can slide in and out of at least 2 of my heritages. Y'all can hold my feet to the fire for that because it's on video. I can't escape it. I can't deny it. You have it there. And as long as it's not a deep fake and somebody says some shit that I didn't say, you know, I have most of the originals on YouTube. So you'd have to upload it from my channel to fake it out. I also have a distinctive voice, and I can also change my voice. So, you know, it is what it is. But here's that thing. I've never denied my black heritage. Up until 2022, I've never used my Native American heritage to my advantage because I wasn't going by Echo Fang Grey Wolf until 2022, 2023. Everything else has been James Williams Jr., and y'all all been here. Y'all all know that. But the world is going to know me as Echo Fang Grey Wolf because James Williams Jr. hasn't got an acting job in 20 years. I've been in this business since I was 27 years old. Technically, a little farther back. But fully committed by the time I was 27. Just no luck whatsoever. You're a very handsome man, Mr. Williams, but you're not what we're looking for. I've made videos about this shit, about this list, and I have never, not one time, have I taken my Native American ancestor and pushed it forward to get a job. Because I wasn't thinking, you know. And now, respectfully, to anybody Native, don't get mad now that I woke up and said, you know, hey, maybe I should boast myself off as a Native instead of trying to be a mixed person, because I've always wanted to be a mixed person. In every movie, every video, I always play a mixed person. You don't see me playing a full-blooded Native. You only see me playing a mixed person. I've played mixed Native and mixed Chinese. That's it. All my stories I've written, I'm either going to be mixed Native and black or mixed Chinese and black. That's it. I've never wrote mixed white. Sometimes there might be all 3, but most of the time it's always either been mixed Native American and black or mixed Native, mixed black and Chinese. It's always been one of those 2. That's it. The reason for that was because there's not enough mixed representation on TV or in movies. I have failed mixed people. As an actor, I have failed you. However, Rock has successfully done that. So there's nothing I can fucking do. However, I will say Rock does cater a lot more to his Samoan side. And no one's giving him flack about it. So I'm going to start catering more to my Native American side. And I know I'm going to get flack because I have that kind of fucking luck. But you know what? Fuck it. I don't give a fuck anymore. I'm tired of trying to answer to things that I can't. I'm 50 fucking years old. I don't answer to anybody. I'm 50 years old. But, we could answer to fisticuffs if that would make people happy, you know. I have videos here where my fucking address is literally here because I was trying to get back my shit that was stolen from Alabama. Anyway, moving on. It is a damn shame that these people don't want to be connected to Africa. Alright? I have never denied the fact that I'm black. Never in my life have I denied the fact that I'm black. I have wanted to not be black on a couple occasions, especially when it came to growing up, and black kids and black people in general will be like, you're never going to be black. You're not black. You're not black enough for us. You're never going to be black. Hey, you're not really black. You're one of those zebra kids. You're a mixed. You're a mutt. You're a filth. You're Juan Carlos. Hey, do you speak Spanish? And I got a lot of this shit from black people. And again, like I said, I got a little bit of racism from white people, and I can probably count on maybe 1.5 hands how much racism I got from white people. Because somehow or another, when you're mixed, we're fascinating to white people. No offense to white people that are watching, because I don't have anything against white people. I hate racist people. I don't give a fuck what color you are. If you're racist, I can't stand you. I don't deal with racism. I am racist to racist people. If you hate me because I'm mixed, or if you hate anybody because of the color of their skin, I'm not the guy you need to follow. Because I don't deal with that shit. That's why when I bring up Trump and I lose people here, it just reveals who they actually are. And I've said this before, I'll say it again. Not everybody who follows Trump is a racist. They're just not aware of some of the shit that he's done. There are a lot of black people who follow and support Trump. They don't remember the Central Park 5. They seem to have forgiven that. There are a lot of natives who follow Trump. They don't remember the shit that he said about they don't like natives to me because their casinos was kicking his casino's ass. There's a lot of fucking Asians who follow Trump. Even though once he said Kung Flu, the Wuhan disease, the Chinese virus, the attack on Asians skyrocketed. You had blacks attacking them. You had fucking whites attacking them. You had Mexicans attacking them. And then some people would be attacking Mexicans and blacks because they phenotypically look like me, or they have lighter skin and they phenotypically look Asian. And motherfuckers was like, oh, you Samoan, that's an Asian. I'm gonna go fuck him up, But they can't tell a Samoan from a Chinaman. They can't tell a Polynesian from a Chinaman. And they can't tell anybody from anybody because of lookerships. I've been mistaken for an Asian before. Quite a few times, actually. And, so I use that in my advantage to make my movies. It's like, okay, so I'm going to play a guy who's part Chinese and part black. I'm going to play a guy who's part Native American and part black. 9 times out of 10, I left the white diaspora out because it just is. But I'm also generationally mixed. All right? What that means is I started off with mixed grandparents. All right? At least on one side or the other. So I'm pretty sure it was on my mom's side because my mother's father looked like a white man with a tan. Until the day he died. He looked like a white man with a tan. He had straight hair. My mom looks white. I've lost my mom in a crowd of white people. My dad's definitely mixed. His dad was black. His mom was native. Her mom was native or mixed native. We're going to be finding that out. That leads to the fact that I had a native ancestor. My mom's mom was adopted, and she's mixed. She's either mixed with black and native, or she's mixed with black and white. We were told she was part native. So, there you go with the we were told. So, TikTok does have some validity in that. However, I specifically remember my great-grandmother on my dad's side. I know she was native. I got folklore from her, and I got told stories about her and her brothers and her siblings running through the woods, and they didn't really go to school because they didn't really have a school for them. Alright? So I got a lot of work to do. A lot of fucking work to do. But I want to close this video out with this. And I say this with a full chest. 9 times out of 10, if you are black and born in America, you probably have native blood in you or white blood in you. And this is the face you're probably going to have. Alright? I'm sure you're all much prettier than my 50-year-old ass. But I am mixed. 100% mixed. So, I know that I have black ancestry. I'm not even trying to go to Africa. I really ain't. I know that I have black ancestry, and I'm going to tell you right now, here's why. It's 2 reasons. One reason is because I had met some African exchange students in my youth, high school. 3 of them. 2 of them had hair just like mine, curly, but they had no admixture. If they had white people in their family, it was generations ago, but they had curly hair. So I was like, okay, people in Africa have black people with straight hair. No, go fuck myself, I didn't know. So I got to talking to them, and they looked at me, And they said, don't you ever go to Africa. You'll get killed as soon as you get off the plane. We don't like fucking half-breeds. I said, how you know I'm a half-breed? We don't like fucking half-breed. Don't talk to us anymore. And they were in my gym class. The third African, who was also in my gym class, his name was Amarai. Shout out to Amarai. He came over to me and said, ignore them. Those guys are just biased and they don't like half-breeds, but not all of Africa is that bad. As I would go through life, I would find out that Amarai wasn't wrong. He just wasn't right. Okay? He wasn't wrong about not all of Africa is like that. He wasn't wrong about all of Africans like that. Just that small group of bad apples in a sea of forever. Now, my other reason is really quite simple. It's going to cost me money, and it's going to take forever for me to find out directly where the fuck I come from. And as hard as that may sound, it's a lot cheaper for me to find my native heritage than it will be for me to find my African heritage. That does not mean that I don't give a fuck completely. It just means that if I would have had money and time when I was younger, if it really meant something to me, then it would. But that also comes from a lot of self-hate. Alright? I'm giving you guys the whole 1,000. It comes from a lot of self-hate. A lot of that self-hate comes from the black people who treated me like shit. The black people who always said, I'm never going to be black enough. And then I met the Africans. Then I got into college. And I was working with Bruce Johnson about some stuff. Now, these African people, they like Bruce Johnson. He was darker than I am. And they literally looked me in my face and they said, yo, we're only doing this for Bruce. We're not doing this for you. Because we don't like half-breeds. We don't like American black people at all. It's like, well, I didn't get a choice in that. You know, I'm not a bad guy. It's not like I'm spitting on Africa. It's like, no, we, Africans, don't like you. Period. It's like, you personally might not like me, but you can't speak for all Africa. Well, let's just put it this way. Because she was all sassy with her dreadlocks and her cool-ass hat. I can speak for Africa, and a bulk of us don't like American blacks, but more importantly, we despise people like you. That shit sank in. You know, we were at the Clemens Library at the university when she said that. Another one of her co-workers, same hairstyle, damn near same hat, said the same shit. Just a different day. We're not doing this for you. We're doing this because we like Bruce. But we don't really like mixed people. And as an African, we really don't like you. Now, there was another African who worked there. Shout out to Tugu. I'm pretty sure I butchered that. It's like T-O-G-O or T-O-U-F or some shit like Tufu or Tugu. Sorry, brother. I love you. I just can't remember how to say your damn name. Anyway, he talked to me. He's like, hey, look, man. All of us Africans are not like that. And this came along about the time 911 happened. Alright? And then I met Yoko, my boy. And I worked with Yoko for at least a year at the Colonnade Hotel. Shout out to Yoko. Yoko's parents were African. But Yoko was named after Yoko Ono. I love you, Yoko. Wherever you are, brother, I love you. I hope your life is going well. So, I have 3 Africans that like me, and I had at least 4 who did not. So, no, I don't have a problem with Africans. I have an African friend right now that works at the college in which I graduated, and shout out to him too, Mr. B. And, you know, these are a diverse of people that might not understand the American experience, but now they're living the American experience. I grew up with the American experience, and I've had most of my racism, unfortunately, done to me by black people. And like I said, I've had a few events by white people, and a bunch of it came from blacks. And yes, I've had 2 Native Americans look me dead in the face because I wanted to date their niece and tell me that I wasn't a pure Native. And I had no right to touch them, talk to them, or anything because you're not pure. My great-grandmother, my grandmother never prepared me to hear that shit. Never in my life that I ever thought that I would have a bad Native American experience. Never in my life. Never saw that shit coming. It was a slap in the face. It was a straight slap in the face. And it sucked. Because I was talking with the girl, and her uncle rolled up, shoot her off, laid into my ass. And then I asked him if he could stand up, and he said no. I said, well, that's a damn shame. I said, but since you can't stand up, you think you'd be fast enough to jump out that chair before you hit that oak tree? He's like, what? I said, see, there's no honor in me fighting you if you can't stand the fuck up. But I can make you run with that fucking tree. It's like, well, I said, you see that tree right there? I will push your motherfucking crippled ass into that tree. You don't need to tell me that I'm not a pure fucking native. I've known it all my fucking life. He rolled off. His big brother rolls up. And I tell you guys this story before. I'll just go ahead and give it to you again. He starts talking. And then I asked him. I said, can you stand up? He's like, no, I'm also a paraplegic. Now, paraplegic is from the waist down. I could be wrong. I know quadriplegic means quad as in 4, para as in 2. So paraplegic should be waist down. Quadriplegic should be you can't move from the neck down. And he's like, no, I'm paraplegic. And I said, okay, so what do you want? He goes, I saw you talking to my brother. So I'm going to tell you the same thing. You are not a pure native. Stay away from my niece. And I was like, look, man, I already know that I'm not a pure native. And as I told your brother, you don't have to rub this shit in my face. I know. Now, can you stand up? And he's like, no, I'm paraplegic. I said, so, let me put it to you the same way I put it to your brother. Because they have no honor in beating a man who can't stand up and fight back. But I will push your motherfucking ass into oncoming traffic if you say one more motherfucking thing to me other than goodbye. And he rolled off. So then I talked to a friend of mine who's a Mohawk. Shout out to Hawk. That's not his name. Shout out to the Mohawk. His name was Courtney. Shout out to Courtney. And so Courtney and I had a talk, and I explained to him that I was interested in the young lady because she was like 18 and I was like 20-something, like 23. I might have been younger than that. I might have been 22. I was in my 20s, early 20s. And he said he'd have a talk with him. So he had to talk with him. But to prevent shit from happening, I sat all the way across the room, and that was like the last time I ever saw that girl in my life. And I hope she's well. No, but that was the shit I went through. And I want her to know, if she's watching, it, by the grace of God, she ever actually sees this. Your uncle scared me off. I was interested in you, but your uncle scared me off. They literally scared me the fuck off. They also literally told me that I would fuck up your bloodline because I'm not a pure native. So I hope whoever you are with, that you are happy and that you are well. And on that note, I'm going to end this motherfucking video. Thank you guys for watching. I'm Echo Fan Grey Wolf. This is Kung Fu Havoc number 2. Be seeing you.